3 powerful plants that create fertilizer naturally and keep your garden thriving forever. Welcome to your garden's natural fertilizer journey. In this video, we reveal 3 amazing plants that don't just grow. They feed your soil naturally by pulling nutrients from the air and earth and turning them into food for your garden. These plants help reduce the need for chemical fertilizers, boost plant health, and keep your garden thriving year after year with simple, sustainable growth. Let's get started and meet the first soil-boosting superstar. One, clover, nature's nitrogen superfood that feeds your garden forever. Clover is one of the most remarkable plants you can introduce to your garden because it acts like a natural fertilizer powerhouse, quietly feeding other plants without any chemical inputs. Unlike typical garden plants that simply grow, clover works beneath the surface, partnering with beneficial soil bacteria called rhizobia to capture nitrogen from the air and transform it into nutrients that plants can use. This nitrogen, a key nutrient for lush, leafy growth and strong plant development, is released into the soil where it becomes available to your vegetables, flowers, and fruit-bearing plants, essentially turning your garden into a self-sustaining ecosystem of fertility. What's truly fascinating is that clover not only feeds the soil, but also protects it. Its dense ground cover suppresses weeds, helps retain moisture during dry spells, and even reduces soil erosion when the rains come. Gardens with clover feel vibrant and resilient because this humble plant doesn't just grow in the soil, it improves the soil, making it richer and more productive over time. Planting clover might seem simple, but what it does is incredibly impactful. It forms a living web of nutrition that other plants benefit from season after season without the need for synthetic fertilizers. Gardeners often plant clover between rows of crops or under trees because it fills gaps in the garden with green life that constantly cycles nutrients back into the earth. As the clover plants age and eventually die back or are mowed down, their biomass becomes organic matter that breaks down and becomes part of the soil's food web, further enriching the garden. Clover's bloom also attracts beneficial pollinators like bees, butterflies, and other insects that help your flowers and food crops produce more fruit and seed. So it's not just a booster for soil, it's a supporter of the entire garden ecosystem. Even if you're focused purely on growing vegetables, clover makes a perfect companion by feeding your soil while feeding your harvest. There are several types of clover you can choose, but white clover and red clover are 2 of the most popular for gardens and landscapes because they fix nitrogen especially well and grow in a wide variety of conditions. They're perennial in many climates, meaning they come back year after year, blending seamlessly with lawns, flower beds, or vegetable patches. When spring arrives and clover begins to shoot new growth, the roots immediately begin their work of harvesting nitrogen from the air, a process that would otherwise require expensive fertilizers if you were trying to replicate it artificially. This is why many permaculture gardeners refer to clover as living fertilizer. It continuously nurtures your soil in a gentle but profound way. The beauty of clover is that you don't have to manage it like a finicky plant. It thrives in full sun to partial shade and adapts to many soil types, making it ideal for both beginners and seasoned gardeners. Once it establishes itself, clover requires very little maintenance, no nitrogen fertilizer, minimal watering after establishment, and just occasional mowing if you want to keep it tidy. Its low-growing nature also means it naturally cools the soil in hot weather, which benefits moisture-loving plants like lettuces, herbs, and young seedlings. By welcoming clover into your garden, not just planting a cover plant, you re-inviting a natural nutrient cycle that keeps your soil fertile, your plants stronger, and your garden thriving year after year without extra work. Two, fava beans. the soil-building bean that nourishes every plant around. Fava beans are more than just a delicious legume you might enjoy at the dinner table. They are also one of the most powerful natural soil improvers you can plant in your garden. As a member of the legume family, fava beans partner with beneficial soil bacteria in their roots called rhizobia, and this teamwork magically transforms nitrogen from the air into forms your soil and plants can use. What makes fava beans stand out is their dual nature. They give you tasty harvests and extend their generosity beyond the edible pods by quietly packing your soil with nitrogen that future crops will thrive on. Unlike chemical fertilizers that wash away or damage soil life over time, fava beans feed the ground gently and build long-term fertility that supports healthy plant growth. When you let fava bean plants mature and then either harvest or till them into the soil, they release that enriched nitrogen and organic matter back into the earth for your garden's next generation of plants to enjoy. The natural process fava beans use to enrich soil is fascinating. As the roots grow, they develop special nodules where bacteria live and transform atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogen compounds your soil craves. This built-in fertilizer system replenishes nutrients that heavy-feeding plants like tomatoes, corn, or peppers often strip away during the growing season. By adding fava beans into a crop rotation or sowing them as a cover crop in fall or spring, you re-inviting a garden ally that nurtures soil fertility while protecting the ground from erosion and weed takeover. Their leafy green canopy shades soil in hot weather, helping maintain moisture and creating a friendly microclimate. For soil creatures like worms and microbes, that also boosts nutrient cycles. You'll find that beds, which once needed extra fertilizer, start to flourish with richer color, stronger stems, and fuller harvests simply because fava beans helped reset the nutrient balance naturally. One of the best things about fava beans is how adaptable they are. They can be grown in many climates, from cooler spring beds to milder winter gardens, making them a flexible tool for improving soil year-round. While you're enjoying their broad, tender pods and silky greens on your plate, the roots are quietly doing their work deep underground, building a soil legacy that other plants benefit from later. Gardeners often plant fava beans in spaces where the soil has been depleted or after a heavy harvest season because that's when the soil needs help most. By choosing fava beans over chemical alternatives, you re-embracing a sustainable gardening approach that respects natural cycles and encourages healthier plants with fewer inputs. Over time, your garden becomes more resilient, self-sustaining, and richer in life, all starting from this one humble bean plant. When you look at your garden beds after growing fava beans, you'll notice the difference right away. The soil feels softer, smells richer, and seems to burst with life. Instead of relying on bagged fertilizers that add nutrients quickly, but don't support soil biology long-term, fava beans help rebuild the foundation of fertility itself. As the plants finish their season and break down, their roots leave organic pathways that improve aeration and water movement in the earth beneath. The nitrogen released ISNT just for the beans. It becomes available to the next plants you choose to grow, from leafy greens to root vegetables and everything in between. By incorporating fava beans into your planting schedule, you're giving every future crop a head start toward health, longevity, and abundant harvests without stress on your garden or your wallet. Comfrey, the deep-rooted nutrient miner that feeds your garden naturally. Comfrey is often called a garden powerhouse plant because its deep roots act like nature's miner, pulling up nutrients from deep below the surface that most plants can't reach. As comfrey grows, its roots dig down and gather potassium, calcium, and other essential nutrients. Then store them in its abundant, leafy growth, above-ground nutrients that are invaluable for strong plant growth and flower production. When you harvest comfrey leaves and use them as mulch, chop them up to compost or make a liquid. Plant feed those stored nutrients are released back into the soil, making them easily available to your vegetables, herbs, and flowers without any synthetic fertilizer. Gardeners prize comfrey because it enhances soil fertility naturally while also improving soil structure, moisture retention, and overall biological activity, a multi-layered benefit many plants appreciate. The amazing thing is that comfrey doesn't just enrich the soil once, it keeps cycling nutrients year after year, making it a self-renewing source of garden vitality when managed correctly. One of the most remarkable aspects of comfrey is its rapid leaf growth and repeat harvest potential, which means you can collect its abundant leaves multiple times in a growing season. These leaves are incredibly nutrient-dense, and when used in compost piles, they accelerate decomposition and enrich the compost with minerals many gardens lack. Some gardeners also create comfrey tea by soaking chopped comfrey leaves in water for a few weeks. This dark, nutrient-rich liquid becomes a highly effective organic fertilizer feed that can be diluted and applied around plants that crave extra nourishment. Unlike many other plants whose benefits lie primarily above ground, comfrey's deep roots help break up compact soil, improving aeration and water penetration, which is especially valuable in beds that are heavy or clay-rich. This makes comfrey a dual-purpose plant that not only feeds your garden naturally, but also improves the soil's physical qualities over time. It's important to understand that comfrey isn't typically planted for direct harvest like lettuce or herbs instead. It's grown as a dynamic accumulator that supports every plant around it by gathering nutrients deep in the earth and returning them to the soil surface each time you harvest its leaves. If you plant comfrey at the edge of a vegetable patch, under fruit trees or along garden borders, it will quietly work behind the scenes to cycle nutrients upward while offering a lush green backdrop to your garden. Some varieties of comfrey are perennial and will return year after year, gradually building up the fertility and life of your garden soil, so future plantings have a stronger foundation. Because of its vigorous growth, many gardeners use chop and drop techniques, cutting the leafy tops and letting them decompose directly on the ground as a natural mulch, essentially feeding the soil where it stands. This process mimics nature's own nutrient cycle and encourages beneficial soil life, like earthworms and microbes that further enhance fertility.